Hey friends, I'm Sherry, and this is the Real Girl Talk podcast show, the podcast for intentional women who want to find abundant growth in faith, finance, and lifestyle freedom. I'm a medical professional, business owner, published author, and adversity recovery expert. So I have the honor of helping women all over the world get unstuck from whatever it is holding them back from living their best life now. So buckle up, Buttercup, and let's dive in. Hello, you guys. It is so good to be back in the seat and podcasting. Can you believe it is March already? I feel like I just took down my Christmas tree. I mean, seriously, it is already flying by, and I took an entire month off. Thank you. And it's been great because I've been working on a project. I can't wait to be able to share it with you. I can't share all the details right now because I have a publisher that holds that tight and secret until it's all launched. And I'm so excited about that. But I had to take some time off because, you know, when you add something else to your plate, something else has to go. When you're just overloaded and overwhelmed and it doesn't become fun, then you shouldn't be doing it. You should not be doing it. So I am winding up a big project before I dive into another project this summer. So I just couldn't wait. I had to get back in the recording seat because this is where I love to be. And I love sharing so much faith and just business ideas and financial freedom and change in lifestyle and just seeing women flourish because that's what we can do. And I just love being here. So thank you for my time off. And I'm back. And I'm back with a bang here because I am going to go through, it's going to be a short podcast, but I'm going through basically an 8-step system for achieving goals. And I got some of these ideas from different people, but mainly Terry Seville Foy. I love this lady. I'm going to have her on my show. Just wait, she's coming. But I want to share this system with you guys because this is what I do. And this has really, truly changed my life. So if you're sitting down, grab a pen and paper, grab your notebook that you keep a lot of notes in or your to-do list. If you're driving, just listen up. You can always go back and write these notes down because it's super important that you follow these 8 steps. This is really a quick system in achieving your goals. And if you have not started your goals already for 2023, what are you waiting for? And if you have already started your goals and you already find yourself just dropping off and not achieving much, this is the podcast for you. So here we go. We're going to write down everything we want. That's basically in the system, step number 1. Get out a piece of paper. The first thing I want you to do is set a timer on your phone for 7 minutes and just start writing. Write every single thing that you want. Now, not how you're going to get it. We're not going to write that down. Doesn't matter how you're going to get it. We just want to write down for 7 minutes every single thing you want. But just every single thing you want, we want to go and be very specific. So I'm going to give you an idea. Like if you have a fitness goal, you want to weigh 140 pounds, run in a 5K, run in a Boston Marathon, join a gym, hire a professional trainer, be a certain size. I want you to be very specific about your goals. You may have a financial goal. You can write down, I want to save $10,000 or pay off credit cards, pay off my school loans, drive a debt-free car, just start investing $500 a month. Again, be very specific in what you want. And when you set your timer, you're going to find that these things are just going to start floating in your brain. Just write them down. Remember, not how, but what you want. If it's a personal or family goal, it can even be something like you want to travel to Paris or Tokyo or London. The point is to just dream. Get it all out. All those dreams and desires out of your head and onto a piece of paper. Just dump it all out there. Everything you can think of. I mean, on my board now, which I took from my paper to my board, I have Ireland, I have Italy, Croatia, Greece. They're all on my vision board, but they started with writing them down on a piece of paper. Now, what are some of the things that you want to accomplish? Think about that. How do you want to grow yourself this year? Think about your relationships. Who are the most important people in your life? Do you want to plan some trips or get-togethers with them? What about in business or in your career? Do you want to launch a new podcast? You can ask me for some tips. I'll be glad to help you. What about writing a book? Again, I have tips. Okay, I've wrote books. I am in the middle of writing another book, a couple of books. So if you have any of those dreams and desires, get them down on a piece of paper. Don't edit the list right now. Just write. Okay. So next, after that, for 7 minutes, the timer goes off, you stop. The second thing you want to do is I want you to put a number 1 or a number 5 next to each goal. This shows whether it's a 1-year goal or a 5-year goal. So basically short-term or long-term goal. Go through this list, okay, random list of your dreams that you just wrote, and number them according to the time it may take. Somebody said people often overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but vastly underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. So a 1 or a 5. It's important to set goals for both. Okay, I'll tell you why. From here, I want you to go to number 3, which is in the system, which is narrow down your 10 most important year goals. Now, remember, you wrote for 7 minutes, so you probably have a lot. If you did it the way I told you to and not write the how, but just the what, you probably have a lot of things down there. If you were just dumping your dreams and desires, go back and I want you to have a year goal by your top 10. 10 most important goals should have a 1 year by them. Now, as you look at that list, which ones motivate you the most? Marie Forleo says this is the prune. This is so important. You don't get to take too much out of here, okay? You don't want to take on too much, but you also want to put enough on there where you can make progress. So research supports staying between 7 and 10 goals for the year. Focus on a few critical things. What will give you the best results? In other words, what is the reward for making this goal happen? More importantly, who will you become if you turn this goal into a reality? Think about that. Any goal that stretches you and demands you to grow is a good thing. For example, if you're paying off a credit card debt of, say, $16,000 and save an emergency money fund of $1,000, those are incredible goals to achieve. That's $17,000 you need to come up with, though, in the next 12 months. And right now, it would be in the next 10 months. But if you've accomplished those 2 goals, you'd be setting yourself up for great success, right? So the fourth thing in the system, achieving your goals, this is proven strategy to always set SMART goals. So what are SMART goals? That is SMART. The S means specific. So in setting your goals, you want clarity. Clarity is power. Don't just say save money. I want you to say save $3,000 by 12/31. Very specific. The M stands for measurable. What gets measured gets done. A stands for attainable. If it's totally unrealistic, then your brain will just check out on that goal. It needs to be about a 50% probability that you can do it. Okay, you have to have a little bit of probability in there. You can't say, I'm going to be a millionaire in 10 months. That's not probable, right? If all you have is $5,000 in your bank account. So 50% probability that you can do it. That's obtainable. The R in SMART goals is realistic. If your goals are unrealistic, you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to drop out and it's going to be the end. You've never saved money before and you live paycheck to paycheck. Don't set a goal of $50,000 because that's not realistic if that's not the habit that you've created for yourself. Okay, you follow me? The T in your SMART goals is timeline. Deadlines serve as a driving force and they motivate us. So make sure that you have a timeline by that goal. You may say you want to achieve it. You say a year, but you may want to do it by the end of the summer. You may want to do it by your birthday if it's in October or November. Whatever it is, I want you to set a deadline in there. Lisa Nichols says action is the prescription for the success that you want. Now listen to that. Action is the prescription for that success that you say you want. So if God's dealing with you about learning successful habits this year, take action on that. One way to do that is to just seek advice. mentorship from someone has already walked in that path, someone that's already experienced in the area that you want to grow. Now, I'm going to alert you right here when I say seek mentorship, because do your research. People that say they're an expert in something doesn't mean they're an expert in something. Has that person actually studied it? Have they experienced it? Do they have a skill set for it? Have they proven success in that mentorship or that coaching? I mean, you wouldn't go talk to somebody that weighs 500 pounds and ask them how to lose weight, right? You wouldn't ask somebody that's broken and broke and battling poverty and ask them how to save $50,000. You just wouldn't do that. So make sure you do your research when you are looking for a mentor, because I have people right now that I could recommend to you that if you wanted to learn how to, your social media, you wanted to understand social media and how to advertise yourself, or tax preparation, or video speaking, gun safety. I know people that I could tell you that would be great mentors or coaches because I know them and I know their expertise and their skill set. So, number 5 in the system is write your goals as if they are attained. So, like they are already attained. Remember, only 3% of adults even write down their goals. 3%. And this 3% are the most successful people in the world. Can you believe that? Just writing your goals gives you a 44% greater chance of achieving them than if you didn't write them at all. So why wouldn't you want to give yourself a boost? A 44% greater probability that you're going to achieve your dreams and desires just by writing them down and following a successful system that's been proven to be successful. Why wouldn't you do that? So when you write down your goals, it gets programmed into your subconscious mind and you go to work on it. You go to work on achieving those goals. Write them in the present tense. So example, I have easily saved $10,000 by December 31st. And you can break that down to $833 a month because that's what it's going to be. If you save it for a year, it's going to be, a little more than that starting right now, right at the beginning of March, because you only have 10 months to get to December 31st. So I have easily saved this money. That is how you set that goal. You are already writing the goal as if you have already achieved it. It gets programmed in your subconscious. Trust me. Number 6, know your why power. I battled with this. Terry Saville Foy had shared this on a video. Why power is more important than willpower. You have to have a why on what you're doing. It's not enough just to say I have willpower, because willpower gives out. Why power sustains you. This is the reason behind setting the goals in the first place. Why do you need to save $10,000? For what purpose? Think about that. Write it out. Is it peace of mind that you're going to be okay if this happens? If you're going to have a more sense of security, or are you saving it for an emergency fund? Is it just to fund a dream vacation maybe? Is it funding your business idea that could change your entire life? What is your why behind saving that money? Don't get surface goals that don't drive you to achieve them. Okay? You got to be specific about those. Your why has to be more important than your what. If you're clear on the reason, you'll be willing to pay the price to obtain that goal. You'll work longer hours. You may take an extra job, look for an opportunity to make more money. When you have your why, it's preservation, right? So it's going to push you forward. It gives you that resilience power. So recently I had wrote a goal down on cleaning out my storage unit. It's just packed, y'all. I mean, when we moved in September, we packed our storage unit. I've gone through some of it, but we also had a house in Florida for a couple of years. So a lot of those items are also in storage. And I thought, I have to clean this unit out. What is the point in things just sitting in a storage unit if you're not using them and paying for a storage? It makes no sense. But I really didn't have a why other than I just wanted to clean it out. So guess what? The storage unit is still sitting there full of stuff because I really don't have a why other than I don't want to pay for it anymore. And that's not really a powerful why for me to go out there and sweat for a week and clean out this storage unit. But I had a goal to organize my closet perfectly. And I did this because I could not find the things that I wanted to put on several times. I'm like, I know I have this. I know I have this. My why of getting organized was to decrease my frustration and looking for things. So guess what? My why was very strong. And so my closet is clean and looks wonderful. You have to have a strong why. So real quick, I want you to think about people who struggle with their weight. But when they get a divorce or they're planning a divorce, what do when they're single? They say, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And they do it. Why? Because they want to get married again. And they're on the dating scene. That's why. You may want to find a spouse, right? You may want to be attractive to those that you date. Maybe you were kind of comfortable. Have you ever noticed that when people go through a divorce, they get in shape and they weren't so much in shape while they were married? It's crazy. So some women call this the revenge body, depending on why you're getting a divorce, right? And that is motivation enough for them. So next, this is something that I have just learned and I started doing. Super important. Number 7 of the 8 system sets for achieving your goals. I want you to write down 20 action steps that you can take to achieve your goals. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, Sherry, really? You must love to write 20 goals. Seriously? Yes. I want you to do this because it's not easy, but it's also going to give you a shot at achieving those dreams and those goals. Trust me, I've always said anything and everything worth doing takes effort. Anything worth doing takes effort. If there's not much effort involved, it's probably not worth doing in the first place. So I want you to get real creative. I want you to make a list. I'm going to give you some examples. I want you to first write on the top of the list. These are 20 action steps. Remember, to the top 10. We already pulled out our top 10 goals. Now we're going to take 20 action steps to achieve each one of those goals. Take a Sunday afternoon for a couple of hours and do this. If you've never done it before, do something different. Because if you're expecting a different result this year, but you're not putting forth any effort to get that different result, you're going to end up this year just like you did last year and the year before that and the year before that. So if something's not working for you and you see that you've already stopped with your actions and achieving your goals, or you haven't started it and you've never even done a vision board, much less this year, but you said you were going to, and here it is, March, and you haven't accomplished it, then let's do something different this year. I want you to write, how am I going to achieve this goal for each goal? How are you going to do it? So if you have wrote down that you want to pay off a credit card debt of $16,000, what are you going to do? What are 20 action steps to pay off that credit card? What are you going to do? You may, number 1, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm not going to give you all 20. You may want to have a garage sale. You can raise some money in a garage sale, right? You could go in with some friends or neighbors. Maybe just sell an old iPhone or old iPad that's probably in a storage like I have, and you're not using it. You can make money. That's money sitting there. Maybe you want to clean out your closet and get organized. Spring cleaning is coming, right? Sell clothes on Poshmark or Marketplace or Facebook, whatever. Maybe you want to get a little side business, a side gig. You know, I always said there are so many different ways that you can make money online. You can be an influencer for Amazon. I am a market partner with Monat. I love Monat products. I love their hair products, their skin products. If you want to do that, holla at me because my mentor is amazing. Amber marries Tito Ortiz and I love her. She's great. If you want to get on our team, give me a shout. Be glad to get you on our team. So you may have a side business like that, or you may take just an extra job or do some freelance work for someone. Maybe you want to do some tutoring, clear out your storage unit like I should and put it on Marketplace. These are action steps in paying off a credit card that is $10,000, $15,000, $16,000. If that is one of your goals for this year. So you still have to write down all 20 actions, okay? And you may just be writing down 4 or 5 right now because the first 4 or 5 action steps come really easy. And when you get to 6, 7, 8, or even 9, you start pushing your mind to be more creative. Then I want you to select ideas that are going to take actions immediately. What can you do immediately? And then those you're going to put on your calendar. Because if you don't put it on your calendar, it's not going to get done. Turn that into a to-do list. You should be doing to-do list every single week. Some people do them every day. I usually do them at the beginning of the week, and I add to them and scratch off and put a check mark every time I accomplish something on my to-do list. So remember these action steps to achieve your goals. They're like little miniature goals. Lastly, number 8 is track your goals every month to see if you're on target. If you're not tracking your goals, how do you know what you're doing? How do you know you're even accomplishing anything? Just the ability to scratch something off your to-do list makes me feel so good. Makes me feel so good. Scratch it off, put a check, accomplishment. Just being able to do that. So I want you I'd like for you to document exactly on the 1st of every month. That makes it really easy to follow. Maybe you want to do it on the 15th of the month, but I say the 1st of the month because you're going to be looking back at the previous month. So if it's March right now, if it's March, the 1st of March, I want you to look back and see what you achieved in February. Write that down. If it's a financial goal of saving $10,000, then write February 1st, saved $700. March 1st, saved $800, and on and on and on. Write down what you achieved. If you didn't achieve anything, then put a big 0 because that's going to motivate you too. Remember, you have a why. Why are you even doing it in the first place? Track it each month to see your progress, and I want you to push yourself because when you do that, you will push yourself harder when you see that you're accomplishing your goals. Ladies, I want the best for you, and I am not teaching or preaching anything that I haven't done myself. So an organized life and goal setting makes you feel good. It clears your mind. Remember, clutter around you it clutters your mind. Things that surround you. So if your surroundings are organized, in other words, you have your to-do list, you have your organizational goals. We've got our top 10. Remember, we wrote for 7 minutes, but then we put a 1 or a 5, whether it was short-term or long-term. And then we took out 10 of those ones, just 10 of those goals that say year goals. And you're going to write 20 action steps on achieving that goal. If it's saving money, if it's losing weight, what are you going to do? What action are you going to take to actually lose that weight? And when you do this, I'm telling you, by December 31st, you will have accomplished so much more than you did the year before and the year before that and the year before that. You can even take these 5 years that you have on there and some of your top 10 and cut out images and put them on a board, just a poster board, and put them in your office. Or put them on the inside of your closet if you have a big closet wall that you can put them on. This is just for you. It's not something to display in the hallway or chit chat with about your friends. This is just for you, creating a vision and focus on what you want to achieve. It makes you feel so good. Trust me when I say that. So it was good being back with you guys. Any comments, make sure that you send them my way. Make sure you go back and follow me on Instagram, Real Girl Talk Podcast, and on Facebook, Empowerment is Beauty. And I will see you ladies next week. One of my favorite scriptures is 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Thank you for tuning in to Real Girl Talk all the way through. And if you wouldn't mind going back and leaving me a rating review, I would appreciate it so much. It helps me reach women all around the world and help them get unstuck to live their best life now. And don't forget to go back and check the descriptions where I always have helpful links and resources. And until next week, I pray God blesses you abundantly.